Now, there's breaking news out of Gaza this morning, with Australia and 24 other nations delivering their strongest message yet that the war in the Strip must end. The statement, signed by Foreign Minister Penny Wong, criticises what Australia calls the inhumane killing of Palestinians and condemns, and I quote, the drip feeding of aid. It also touches on Hamas criticising the treatment of hostages.
Israel has been quick to react, calling the statement disconnected from reality. And while several Western countries have put their name to it, Israel's biggest ally, the US, did not.
Our Middle East correspondent Matthew Doran is in Jerusalem.
This is the latest in a number of statements Australia has signed, criticising the course of the war in Gaza and calling into question Israel's conduct. And while many will doubt whether rhetoric is enough to end this bloody conflict, seeing as it seemingly had little impact to this point, it is another example of the tide of opinion moving further and further away from Israel, and fewer countries being prepared to lock in behind the Israeli government. Australia and countries including the United Kingdom, New Zealand, France, Canada and Japan say the suffering of civilians in Gaza has reached new depths, that the way the Israeli government is allowing aid to be delivered into the Strip is dangerous, and that it's horrifying that more than 800 Palestinians have been killed while seeking aid in recent weeks, although the UN puts that figure at more than 900. The countries say Israel's denial of essential humanitarian assistance to civilians is unacceptable and that restrictions on aid need to be lifted. The countries are also condemning Hamas for continuing to hold Israeli hostages, 50 of them, 20 of whom are believed to still be alive. They've said that they are suffering terribly and should be released immediately, adding that a ceasefire is their best hope. And while Israel has rejected this statement, saying Hamas is the cause of the problems in Gaza, that there is enough food there is enough aid going in, this statement shows that other countries are not buying that argument anymore, and that they are putting responsibility for this situation squarely at the feet of Israel. The Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority, Mohammad Mustafa, was flanked by PA officials and representatives from the UN and humanitarian agencies, calling out the crisis which has developed in Gaza. The ABC asked the Prime Minister what he wanted to see from the international community.
They have to do more. Everybody has to show up and say that Israel, enough is enough. This is not acceptable.
All of this was happening while Israel expanded its military campaign in Gaza. Deir al Balah, in the centre of the Strip, is now being hit from the air and from the ground. The first time it's been targeted in this way since the war began, with Palestinians ordered to leave areas or risk being caught in attacks. Strikes are also continuing to hit other parts of the Strip, including on this building in Gaza City. Dozens more Palestinians have been killed in the last few hours as that military campaign in the Strip continues. And for all of the criticism and condemnation coming from world leaders, there is only one person that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu listens to, and that is the US President Donald Trump. That's why his influence and that of his administration will be crucial in negotiations between Israel and Hamas on a ceasefire, even though those talks so far have yielded very little.